Hello, welcome. Thank you for joining us on this edition of News 2. I'm Sandra Gumansing. In our top story, the first native Virgin Island governor of the Virgin Islands was born today, 100 years ago today to be exact. Governor Mapp has proclaimed today Melvin Evans Day, and the governor's contributions to the territory will be observed for the rest of the week. News 2 Stephanie Brown reports.
Melvin Herbert Evans was a United States ambassador, physician, and former governor of the Virgin Islands. Today, August 7, marks the 100-year anniversary of Evans' birth date in 1917, the same year of the transfer of the Danish West Indies to the United States. Melvin Evans is the last presidential appointed governor to the territory, as well as the first elected governor. In August of 1968, the 90th United States Congress passed the Elective Governor Act, which provided for the governor of the United States Virgin Islands and the governor of Guam to be popularly elected rather than appointed. According to William Evans, Melvin Evans was a consummate family man.
I remember most about my dad, who I've always called Daddy, even up until the day he died, was that he was loving, he was caring, and with all of his outside responsibilities, he never forgot his family. He was able to balance all of his responsibilities and also take care of his family.
In his younger years, Evans had received his Bachelor of Science as well as his medical degree from Howard University and served as a Department of Health Commissioner from 1959 to 1967. According to memoirs on the Alexander Farrelly webpage, Evans was known as a skilled surgeon and later a skilled cardiologist. Dr. Evans also set high standards for his children.
He always wanted us to do good in school. He always placed a great value on education. He placed value in terms of us going to church. He enjoyed sports. He liked baseball. He liked the New York Yankees.
After several years, Evans returned to politics when he ran and won for delegate to Congress. In 1982, Evans was appointed as the U.S. ambassador to Trinidad and Tobago, where he served until his death on December 1st, 1984. For News 2, I'm Stephanie Shalana Brown.
In 1974, Melvin Evans lost his bid for a second term as an elected governor. However, utilized his time off from politics to pursue further education in the medical field at Johns Hopkins University. Well, Delegate Plaskett also made a statement recognizing the 100th birthday of Virgin Islander Governor Melvin Evans as well. Here's more.
Thank you. It was with great pride that I speak on behalf of the centennial anniversary of the birth of the Honorable Melvin Herbert Evans. This celebration of Governor Evans' 100th birthday is both timely and symbolic. Evans was born in 1917, months after the transfer of the Virgin Islands from Denmark to the United States, when locals had no citizen rights and no mechanism for which they could have their own elected representation. A son of the soil, he was educated on St. Croix, valedictorian of his high school class on St. Thomas, and in 1944 earned his medical degree from Howard College of Medicine, returned to St. Croix, and was eventually Commissioner of Health of the Virgin Islands. In 1969, Evans was appointed governor of the Virgin Islands by President Richard Nixon, earning him the distinction of being the territory's last appointed governor, but more importantly, the territory's first black native governor. In 1971, he became the governor elected by the people of the Virgin Islands after 1970 law, which allowed residents to elect their governor. In 1978, he was elected to the House of Representatives in the 96th Congress. And after leaving Congress, he was an ambassador to Trinidad and Tobago. Governor Evans personifies the evolution of the political maturity of the Virgin Islands. His life and legacy symbolize not only the extraordinary achievement of Virgin Islanders, given little but striving and attaining much under the American flag, but also the political growth and progress of our islands from colonial rule to self-governance.
Now, more news from the delegate. Residents on St. Croix are gathering presently at the Danish West India and Guinea Company warehouse across from the Steeple building in Christiansted. It is the second of two meetings held. The first on St. John was held on Thursday. Now, the purpose of these two meetings is to allow the public to share their concerns directly with the decision-making officials from the Park Service and to have those officials address those concerns, as well as to clarify, she says, some misinformation disseminated about administrative changes made within the Park Service, and we will have details from the meeting. The Department of Justice has settled its civil claims against Paul Sabers, one of four conspirators who admitted to participating in a public auction scheme to defraud the government. Sabers, 66, pleaded guilty to taking part in the scheme that occurred between January 18, 2012 and January 26, 2013, in which the Office of the Lieutenant Governor initiated a series of real property auctions. He faced 4 charges: conspiracy, obtaining money by false pretense, conversion of government property, and criminally influenced and corrupt organizations in connection with the crime. On July 24th, Sabers appeared before Superior Court Judge Michael Dunstan and pleaded guilty to the single count of compounding a crime. He was sentenced to a suspended jail term of 90 days, supervised probation for 1 year, and 100 hours of community service. In all, 4 men were taken into custody on November 19, 2015, and charged in connection with the public auction scheme, which occurred on August 30th. The property bid conducted by the Office of the Lieutenant Governor. DOJ also brought civil charges against Sabers under Title 14, Section 607. The Attorney General is granted the authority to institute civil proceedings against any person in the Superior Court to obtain relief from conduct constituting a violation of CICO, and the civil penalty may be as high as $1 million. In accordance with agreement entered into with the DOJ, Sabers has paid $500,000 to the government of the VI. He has also agreed to refrain from personally participating or associating with real estate agent, broker, or any other persons for purposes of participating in any property auction conducted by the Office of the Lieutenant Governor. Commenting on the resolution of Sabers' criminal and civil cases, Attorney General Claude Walker stated, "We believe at the Attorney General's office that in the VI we will have one set of rules for everybody, no matter how rich or powerful." He said, "What is deeply disturbing about the allegations is that in the VI, a person's home is usually his most valuable asset that is acquired after years of hard work and saving, and that is why I intend to pursue a civil action." In other news, the Virgin Islands took to social media to assist in raising funds for the funeral expenses of Liana Saru and her 2 sons. And this is an update for you. To date, over $9,000 has been raised after Virgin Islanders Maxine Young and Malik Stradiron, Liana's search party organizer, utilized Facebook and gained an overwhelming amount of support from Virgin Islanders around the world. A fake GoFundMe page was created and gained over $600 in donations. However, Facebookers shared the post and informed everyone that the GoFundMe was fake. 24-year-old Liana Saru and her 2 sons, 10-year-old Jordan and 5-year-old Jeremiah Saru's bodies were found last week at midday, Tuesday, August 1st. 2 badly decomposed children's bodies were found near the Halfpenny Beach. The VIPD is conducting tests to positively ID the bodies. Liana's body was found on Thursday, August 3rd in a cistern of an abandoned home behind the Mutual Homes community in Grove. Autopsies are being done to determine the initial cause of death to the Saru family. Well, in other news, have you seen the new U.S. VI tourism ads? It is real nice. That is actually the name of the new campaign, which involved creating some print, television, and digital assets focusing on authentic Virgin Islanders experiences, highlighting food, culture, and people, and the destination overall. The voiceover talent of Virgin Islands artist Pressure Buzzpipe Delano Brown is featured in the television anthems, while his music can be heard in some of the digital videos. It can also be found online. Many are sharing it in partnership with its advertising agency of record, J. Walter Thompson in Atlanta, which is responsible for creative design, and local Virgin Islands company Film VI. The popular Virgin Islands Nights campaign was revised With more than 80% of the campaign development budget spent in the territory, the production resulted in the hiring of more than 100 on-island talent and crew, as well as wardrobe, props, and equipment to achieve a new level of authenticity. To a Virgin Islander, real nice is more than a phrase. It's a feeling of positivity that speaks to the way we live and embrace each other as a people, said Beverly Nicholson Doty, who is the Commissioner of Tourism. She says these advertisements dive deeper into showcasing the authenticity of our destination. Virgin Islands co-director of the project, Dwight Winston of D. Winston Media, said it is an honor to have been selected by the U.S. Virgin Islands Department of Tourism to direct their 2017 Real Nice promotional campaign. He said, I am humbled by this once-in-a-lifetime opportunity and appreciate USVI Tourism's commitment to supporting local talents. The Real Nice campaign includes 3 television spots, State of Mind, Live How We Live, and Free to Explore, as well as 16 digital videos and more than 10 print ads. Keeping our eye on the economy, Puerto Rico's Governor Ricardo Rossello on Friday said he would not implement a government worker furlough mandated by the federally appointed Fiscal Oversight Board. The Oversight Board, established by the Puerto Rico Oversight Management and Economic Stability PROMESA Act, was given control of Puerto Rico's finances. The board announced the plan to furlough government workers for 2 days each month on Friday. The plan would exclude frontline law enforcement personnel. But on late Friday afternoon, Rossello said he will not accept or execute the furlough. He said his administration has defined as public policy the protection of the most vulnerable sectors of our society. He said activating our economy and stimulating the creation of more and better jobs in Puerto Rico must be a common objective, both for the government and for the Financial Oversight and Management Board. The furlough proposed by the board would provoke the opposite, increasing the crisis and hitting our people unnecessarily, which is why we will not allow it. Members of the House Natural Resources Committee, the Committee of Jurisdiction over PROMESA, have said they will hold an oversight hearing after the August recess, but it has not yet been scheduled. Taking a look at the numbers there, the Dow up 25, NASDAQ up 32, S&P 500 up 4. Coming up on NEWS2, news from the BVI as Emancipation Celebration continues. We'll be right back. Welcome back. Immigration policy and police funding are poised to collide in court again. The Department of Justice is pressuring local law enforcement to interview and detain immigrants or face a loss of federal funding. On Monday, the city of Chicago filed a lawsuit. DOJ sent letters to multiple sanctuary cities, including Chicago, Baltimore, Albuquerque, and San Bernardino. The wording makes it clear that federal crime-fighting dollars are linked to immigration enforcement. San Francisco and Santa Clara County already sued the administration over similar actions and won. Chicago Mayor Rahm Emanuel says the funding threat amounts to blackmail. The Justice Department responded with a statement taking aim at Chicago's high murder rate, saying, "It's especially tragic that the mayor is less concerned with that staggering figure than he is spending time and taxpayers' money protecting criminal aliens and putting Chicago's law enforcement at greater risk." Turn our attention back here at home, but to the BVI. Tortola, British Virgin Islands, a new governor will take office in the British Overseas Territory, and that should be happening this month. Augustus Gus Jaspert, who currently serves in the United Kingdom Cabinet Office as Director of Security and Intelligence, will succeed Governor John Duncan. And again, that process is taking place very soon. Jaspert is a former member of the Royal College of Defense Studies, as well as former head of drugs and alcohol and head of policing. The newly appointed governor was private secretary to the Prime Minister from 2012 to 2014 and delivery manager in the Prime Minister's delivery unit from 2007 to 2009. He was also lead manager of Children's Services, Surrey County Council. Jaspert, who is married to Millie Jaspert, has 2 children. Now, John Duncan was appointed governor of the BVI in June 2013 and took up his post in August 2014. The governor is known for his historic move earlier this year by exercising his constitutional powers to force the government to allocate more money for the police force and legal system. During his last days, he spent some time in Virgin Gorda. The governor met with many and thanked them for their hard work during his tenure. Now, he is the 16th governor of the British Virgin Islands. More BVI news. Kifra Sylvester, she captured the 2017 Miss British Virgin Islands crown as the Emancipation celebration continues, and more than $25,000 in cash and prizes. The newly crowned queen was awarded in the Best Intellect and Best Interview categories. Winning the title of Miss BVI 2017 earned Sylvester a 2017 Toyota Yaris, $5,000 cash, jewelry, and a $20,000 educational grant. She said the grant will assist her in completing studies at Midwestern State University in Texas. She plans to follow through with her plans to partner with a family support network to get started to see how work can be done with victims of domestic violence and support them and raise awareness. Two contestants, in the meantime, tied for the first runner-up position. They are contestant number 4, Helena Hewlett, and contestant number 2, Ayana Phillip. Domestic ferry operations on the waterfront on St. Thomas will be moved to the secured area of the Edward Blyden Marine Terminal beginning August 15th. That announcement came from the Virgin Islands Port Authority's Executive Director, David Mapp. Transportation Services of St. John, Inc. and Varlock Ventures, which provide inter-island service to and from St. John, and the QE4, which travels to and from St. Croix, they're being relocated from the open area on the eastern end of the waterfront bulkhead to the gated area near the Blyden Terminal, adjacent to the fruit stand. Boarding and disembarking will take place at the most eastern gate in the secured area on the bulkhead. Taxis will also be staged nearby. The move is being implemented to improve customer service and the traveler's experience on the waterfront, Mapp said. Passengers waiting to travel to St. John or St. Croix will have access to the nearby restaurant and restrooms in the Blyden Terminal. For more information, you can contact VIPA's Public Information Officer, Manifa Brathwaite, 340-774-1629. Big congrats to the 2017 graduates of the Entrepreneur on St. Thomas. These young men are also known as the 2017 Gentlemen of Entrepreneur. The graduation was held on August 4th. They are Kevon Barksclett, Javon Thomas, Claudius Abraham Jr., Shermoy Ogaro, and Kiri Hughes. They gathered for their graduation ceremony on St. Thomas at E's Garden Tea House and Things on August 4th, 2017. These 2017 graduates of Entrepreneur were recognized for their achievement of completing the 6-week entrepreneurship program. Congrats to them. The Hot Summer Fun event that was rescheduled from last week, that was held this weekend, August 5th and 6th, Saturday and Sunday. Now, ever rode a hot air balloon? These participants right there, they took advantage. They were very brave. They took advantage of the opportunity at the Lionel Roberts Stadium on St. Thomas. The 105,000 cubic foot balloon can carry 4 to 5 passengers at a time to a peak of 85 feet. Many of the attendees were fascinated by the event, not common in the VI. There were also games, kiddie corner, superhero makeovers, live entertainment, and many giveaways. Even a dad's domino tournament took place. Congrats to the team that put on a successful event. Well, the value-added market day that was held last Saturday brought out many patrons and vendors as well. It was a family affair that included fun for the young ones, as well as other events like the bouncers, the games, and face painting, music, and raffles. It was all held at the Department of Agriculture grounds on St. Croix. The beauty of this event, all the items were made by locally grown agricultural produce. It included things like honey, local drinks, cakes, tarts, seasonings, even skincare products like lotions. Congrats to those involved. Job well done there. Well, back here in St. Thomas, a total of 5 Blue Marlin blue marlin released in 3 days of fishing earned Doña Lucy the top boat prize in the 45th annual USVI Open Atlantic Blue Marlin Tournament. Incredibly, the San Juan, Puerto Rico-based team scored 4 of these fish on the last day of fishing to take the trophy over, which also released 5 blue marlin total, A1A, but had to settle for second place based on time. Doña Lucy's triumph was in a Davy versus Goliath style, as the 41 Ronin Sports fisher was half the size of the other ABMT competitors. The 8-boat tournament fleet released about a total of 22 blue marlin in the 3 days of fishing. Boats competing in the ABMT were the A1A Angela, Business Stinks, Cheeseburger, Doña Lucy, Gulf Rascal, Real Tight, and Sodium. Now on land, big celebration was going on. The 5th annual Blue Marlin Fest concluded with a shrimp boil and Caribbean show in the parking lot of the Red Hook Shopping Mall. The ABMT and Marlin Fest benefit the locally registered not-for-profit marine vocational program. The NVP's goal is to serve as a vocational institution that provide U.S. Virgin Islands youth with a career path in the marine, hospitality, tourism industries. Be sure to stick around. We'll hear what's happening with all the wet weather. That's coming up next.
Well, for today, we've had an upper-level feature kind of swinging across the Virgin Islands and into Puerto Rico as well. So as we go into the overnight hours, what we'll see lingering is going to be some spotty showers in the area, an overnight low of 79 degrees. And for tomorrow in St. John's, a few showers around, a partly sunny sky with a temperature of 90 degrees. We'll have mostly cloudy. We'll have breaks of sun here and there in St. Thomas, but a little more in the way of clouds there, with a few showers in the area and a temperature of 90. Same thing in St. Croix. We'll have clouds, some breaks of sun at times, a few showers around the area, and a temperature of 91. Our marine forecast on the Atlantic side, the waves are 3 to 5 feet with an easterly wind of 15 to 20 knots. And on the Caribbean side, we have the same thing, 3 to 5 feet waves, and we have an easterly wind of 15 to 20 knots. Now, as we take a look at the forecast, there will be a weak wave coming through late in the week, and that could bring, it goes a little to our south, but that could bring some showers increasing a bit in activity here for the late week. So for your Tuesday, still a few showers around the area, 90 degrees with clouds, some breaks of sun. On Wednesday, only a spotty shower in places with a high temperature of 90 degrees. On Thursday, a spotty shower in places, otherwise clouds and occasional sunny peaks as well. On Friday, we're looking at a shower or two and a shower or two on Saturday. A little bit of an uptick in the activity there as we go into the late week and just the start of the weekend. Sandy?
Thank you. So we don't have to remind you to keep those umbrellas handy. Our news to weather picture there by Aaliyah George of Great Minds Summer Learning Academy. Great job there, giving us some sunshine and clouds, but we're seeing the opposite right now. Aaliyah, thank you for that. Send us your news to weather picture to News2 via 4611 Tutu Park Street 300, St. Thomas VI 00802. That is all for this edition of News2. Thank you for joining us for all the latest. I'm Sandra DeManson, and you have a wonderful evening.